Oh, is this the start? All right, hey, yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Investors Link podcast, sponsored not by
By
Rain.
Rain.
Yeah, baby. Sour gummy worm is delicious. Which one you like, bro?
We wish Rain had been the sponsor of ours for the past five or 6 months.
Hell yeah.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Rain.
The sour gummy?
That one. That's
The
best
Rainbow's
one.
good.
Do you
Tastes like
drink those, Bailey?
every
Those are
once in a
bad
blue
for
moon.
you, ladies and gentlemen.
Are they
I
really
could have
though?
swore I saw a monster on your desk.
Bailey
the other
drinks the pre-workouts.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
That's
not
right.
good. You guys are all going down.
day. Yeah, Leon likes Jocko.
That's right. We trying to hit that J,
I like
man.
I like drinking the Ghost Welch's grape.
Oh, dude, they don't have it at the Circle K.
No, that ghost is dangerous.
Is that a Chevron? Is that where they have it?
Chevron.
All right. Well, anyways, guys, I'm excited for today's episode because
Yeah.
it's the Investors Link podcast. This is episode 2. We're with the OG crew, and we're going to talk about how do you get into real estate investing, because at the Yuma REI events, which was amazing last week, it was
Yeah, it was
badass.
awesome.
We had
Very
over
cool. First of the year.
55 people there. We had seasoned investors. We had new investors. And some of them came up to me and they were like, dude, I work at Jack in the Box, or like I work at In-N-Out. I work at here. I work over there. I want to start doing this, man, but I don't know how. You got me hooked on this. I love the people here. What do I have to start doing? And that was a hard question because there's so many ways to go about it. And I was like, dude, click on the Calendly link, set up a free consultation, come into the office, and let's talk about it. But I thought it would be a great podcast topic. So Felix, Anthony, Bailey, I work at Jack in the Box, man. I went to a Yuma REI event. I got freaking pumped, and I want to start real estate investing, but I work at Jack in the Box. What do I have to do? What's the structure? What do you think is the way to go about it?
AD.
All right. Well, welcome to the investing. What's your name, sir?
I don't know. My name is Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy. Hey, well, nice to meet you, Leroy.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
My best advice would be to keep learning and start,
Okay.
learning the industry.
Learn the industry.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you
by
mean by that? What is it? What exactly? Where do I go? What do I have to do? Do you mean I have to become an agent?
No, you don't have to become an agent, Leroy. What you should do is probably check some YouTube stuff out. We can help educate you. We can send you some
perfect.
some information and I'd start connecting with those members at the Yuma REI. What specifically do you want to do in the real estate world?
This is why it's so hard, man. I'm Leroy Jenkins, by the way. This is why it's so difficult, because I honestly don't know what questions to ask.
Okay. So what drew you first into real estate investing, or why'd you
The
show
people
up?
around Yuma REI, they were such great people, and I talked to some seasoned investors that have been doing this for a lot of years, and I see how well off they're doing. I see that they're their own bosses and that they're buying and flipping properties. And to be honest with you, I love the idea of that. And I've seen HGTV. I've seen, Property Brothers, and I like what they do. And it'd be so badass if I could work for myself and I can flip properties and just gain experience and do that as a career.
Okay, cool. Well, you can do that, Leroy. So do you have any type of skills? Are you handy?
I make the meanest burger you'll ever taste at a Jack in the Box,
That's
man.
perfect. We'll keep that job because we don't want you to go bankrupt before you become an investor.
Okay.
Start saving all your nickels. Do you live at home?
I do. I live at home with my
Okay.
mama.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, she's a single mother. Mama Luchona, she got me.
All
She
right.
got, we don't need no dad.
It's a real one.
All right. Well, keep stay there.
Okay,
Keep your
okay.
expenses low and start educating yourself. Start rubbing elbows. Talk to people, some experienced investors. See what they're doing. Sit down with them.
Okay.
Go onto the office and meet Felix
Okay.
over at Investors Link.
On the Calendly link,
Yep. Book an
free
appointment.
consultations.
Yeah, book an appointment.
Okay.
See where he's at, and then what I would do is I would start picking his brain. I'd start going to those masterminds or those meetups at the Yuma REI, and I would also start learning, real estate terms. Get into learning about investing, what segment of investing you'd want to be in. Get a little bit of a wide angle of what investing's all about, and then I would pick something and start to get super focused on that to get really good at it.
Yeah, there's different niches. Leroy, right?
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy, okay.
Yes, sir.
And the best thing to do would be to meet with Felix, because his consultations are free. Like a lot of people who are into investing, especially the seasoned ones, who have a lot of knowledge, they're very busy, so it's difficult to be like, hey, let me take you to lunch. You know,
I can
not-
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So a meeting with Felix, click on his calendar link and he'll meet with you. No problem.
Calendar link.
Yeah.
Free consultations.
Free consultations.
Perfect.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
That's awesome.
And what Anthony's talking about, you want to get a wide scope of what you want to do, because there's different niches you can go about. Like the flipping is always great. Like it looks pretty, the finished product.
Oh, it's sexy.
It looks very good. The profits
gets me
look very
going.
good too. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. So there's flipping, there's buying properties for the long term vision, have equity, have cash flow, or you can be, or what you could do is be somebody like Anthony, who's a real estate agent, and sell people's properties and get commissions off of it. So that's how you can get started. You know?
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, and start to figure out what you really like to do. Maybe you're the guy that likes to build. Maybe you want to become a real estate builder and investor.
That'd be cool.
That's another niche. Yeah.
Maybe you're somebody who is good at finances and you know how to put deals together and you can leverage yourself. Maybe you're going to come into some money and you want to put that to work. Maybe you need to start saving some money and kind of know where you need to be. What down payments look like, how much you need to save for your first deal, or maybe you get really good at building relationships with individuals, and you know your skill set. Maybe you have the drive and the youth to bring that to the table. Say, hey, listen, I don't have any money. I'm new to this, but I'm willing to work super hard and to do what I got to do to team up with you. So
Become an apprentice to somebody at UMREI.
that's I would say so, because I learned from the experiences of others, and that was really good. I'd watch my family, my brother, my older brother. You start learning, and I mean, there's YouTube. There's tons of educational information out there now.
YouTube University.
YouTube University.
You
Absolutely.
can learn all kinds of stuff on YouTube. Like anything you really want to learn. I mean, just to get into something, YouTube. That's the
Yeah,
place
we
to
can
go.
give you some good ideas there are some good gurus that give a lot of good information out there for free.
Yeah, there are some gurus.
Some
Right
gurus,
before
yeah.
they talk to you about their mastermind.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to plug into that right away, the masterminds. If you have the money to do so, I mean, education is always a great thing. But you can find a lot of free stuff out there. I think building relationships is huge.
Wow. What do you mean by that?
How do I build a
how
relationship?
can Leroy use
Yeah,
that?
how could I build a relationship? Because I can see for you it'd be easy. You're an agent. You know a lot of buyers here. You know what you're doing. You know about flipping. People want to pick your brain.
Well,
how would I do it?
You know what's it's interesting is people like people who are interested in them. People, if you know any investor, if you talk to a lot of them, they're a wealth of knowledge and they want to share that with you. They get excited about what they do. And so if you're there, honest-hearted, and you want to learn, they will teach you. They may not teach you everything, They don't necessarily want to replace themselves right now, but they're going to teach you just even if you just picked up something a little bit every single day or a little bit every single week, you will start to learn, and then you start to put things together and go, okay, I like this. I understand this, and you go from there. So it might be the business side, it might be from something in the construction, the flipping, the physical end of it,
Yeah.
or it could be in your connections with learning how to, run deals and see comps and know how to identify a good real estate deal.
Yeah, and there's also, there's a rule of reciprocity, right? Like, for example, let's pretend that you wanted to be a real estate agent for Anthony, right?
Okay.
And Anthony's a very busy guy. So let's say, okay, how can I build a relationship with Anthony? Well, as a real estate agent, real estate agents make a living off of commissions, and they need a listing to make a commission if they're gonna work with the seller. So what you could do, and it's grunt work. You got to do it. You could door knock. You could door knock a neighborhood and knock on doors and be like, hey, a friend of mine's an agent here in town, Anthony, and he's given evaluations of homes around here. Have you been considering selling? So you can spend all day long knocking on a door. Eventually, the rule of average is you're going to run across somebody who wants to sell. Connect with Anthony. Hey, I got this person who's thinking of selling. And boom, Anthony, you're of value now. It's not just like, hey, I'm going to take you to coffee. Do you have 30 minutes of, can I take 30 30 minutes of your time in exchange for,
Yeah.
you know, a $10 coffee.
Dude, you just got me so pumped up, and it's not the rain.
You sure?
Dude, that was freaking amazing. Okay, so right there, I love that. If you're trying to get into this, right? You're trying to build reciprocity, you're trying to get your foot in the door, you want to become an asset to somebody in the industry. And just like you said, maybe on the weekends, maybe, you know, if you have a day off during the week, make the commitment, make the sacrifice, do exactly that. Go door knock, see if you can find any clients that you can refer to Anthony. That is freaking magical right
Yeah,
there,
if you
man.
wanna be an
That is
agent, yeah.
badass. That is you actually doing something in the industry.
Yeah, it's imperfect action. It's going to be difficult. Like,
Yeah.
the next thing is like, well, shoot, what do I say to the person at the door? You're going to stutter. It's not going to come out right. Their first few times might be a little bit embarrassing, but eventually you get the hang of it. And that's
Experience,
yeah, that's the experience. I mean, that's what you have to do to break through that barrier.
practice.
Yeah.
Go. We got a question? Okay,
No.
we
No
don't have a
question.
No question.
You
Okay.
got us excited. We wanted a question.
Dude, I
Anybody
want to
got a
go door
question?
knock now, man.
Somebody's got
Yeah.
a question. We want to hear
Door
it.
knocking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always that route. I know a lot of agents here when they get started, they go door knocking and find success.
Yeah, go to Yuma REI, talk to everyone there, see who's an agent, see who's a wholesaler, see who's a contractor, see who's an investor, and be like, okay, do you accept referrals? Like if I find you somebody, do you accept this? Door knock for agents, door knock for wholesalers, door knock for, I don't know, maybe go to Jacobson's or like go to a place where there's subdivisions and I don't know, do something.
Yeah. So let's say like Leroy wants to flip houses, right? He saw it on HGTV.
I want to flip houses. Yep.
So let's say I flip houses. So let's say you want to build a relationship with me.
Right.
I would tell you, or you use your imagination and be like, you know what I'll do to bring value to Bailey is let me drive around town and write down all the addresses that I think a property needs work or look vacant, and then let me bring them to Bailey and then see if that would help them.
And guys,
Yeah.
this is Felix speaking, not Leroy. Use your tools. You have so many tools. We live in an era where you have access to so many beautiful and free things. If you're asking yourself, well, how do I do that? How do I find those houses? Go to YouTube, use ChatGPT, go to the library, ask people at UMRI how they do it. For example, here's a little quickie. Look for tall grass. Look for properties that look like they need maintenance and nobody has paid attention to in a while. If you see tall grass, that could be a person right there that, you know, hasn't done anything to their property and might be willing to sell. Knock on the door, figure out if they are willing to sell and if they are a lead. And if they are, bring it to whoever you're talking to, and boom, you're adding value.
Yeah, developers, same thing. Drive around, find lots, bring it to Mr. Zamora,
Yep.
and say, hey, I got these lots that maybe you can build on, and then, you know, hopefully you'll see the value.
Shout
of
out
that
to the
and
Zamoras, baby.
Yeah, shout out to the Zamoras. I mean, that's how I got it. That's how I got involved with Anthony.
Oh shit, talk about it, bro. I want to hear this.
So I met him through my uncle Edward. I saw it on HGTV. Same story as Leroy.
Damn, dude, that's fire,
Yeah,
dog.
same story as Leroy. And I watched some YouTube videos, and I'm like, dang, that looks really cool. And so I asked my uncle, do you know anybody? He said, yeah, Anthony is a pretty well-known investor here in town. He's an agent, so he brought him in. And Anthony heard it. I would assume by his kind of expressions and body language that, oh, dude, I've heard this a bunch of times. Yeah, this is what you do. This is how
Here
you
we
get
go
started.
again.
Here we go again. This guy wants to get started. And then I started driving for dollars. Driving for dollars being driving around vacant properties.
Keyword, guys. Driving for dollars. Write
Yeah.
it down. Search it up. Look into it more.
Yeah, exactly. So driving for dollars, and then I brought the vacant properties to Anthony. He's like, okay, well, he's providing value. Subconsciously he felt that way, and then eventually things started snowballing. He started teaching me I was an asset to him, etc. So it's the same story. That I'm not just saying that's what you should do because I saw it on TV. I'm saying it because that's
what you did.
That's what I did. Yeah, and that's
Yeah, no, Bailey, we connected.
yeah.
Just like we're talking about, find somebody that will mentor you or to give you some advice. You don't even need a super mentor. You just need somebody that you can start picking their brain. And once you pick their brain, and with Bailey's case, is I wanted to do the real estate investing, but I was doing the real estate sales.
You were an agent.
I was an agent, like
You're
Felix
still
said.
an agent, yeah.
Yeah, so I had already done the real estate investing, but it wasn't consistent. So I wanted to do that on a more consistent basis.
Because being an agent is time consuming.
Yeah, you have to. At the time, I had been kind of transitioning in the career, and So I was like, but I was really busy starting off as a real estate agent,
Just
I was-
putting food on your table.
just putting food on my table, and I didn't have the time to do the stuff that like Bailey was going to bring value, like we talked about. So every single day, Bailey would show up. We'd make a little plan, and then finally we just said, like, hey, you do this really well, I'll do this really well, and we'll work together, and we'll start. It starts growing. But you have to start. You have to start. You have to get that plan of action, start learning, and then say, okay, this is what I want to accomplish. And we kind of talked about that at the UMRIA.
We did.
Yeah.
No matter what your experience level was, what are you going to accomplish in 2025? What do you want to do? Is it you just want to? Is this a year of learning, or is
Yeah.
this a year of action, or is this a year of doing your second, third, fourth flip?
Yeah. So when this podcast ends, once it closes out, ask yourself, what do I want to do? Like based off of the niches that we're going, you're like, well, shoot, I don't know what niche I should go to. Just pick one, and you can always change directions. Right?
Absolutely.
So pick one and be like, okay, who's in that field? Okay, X person's in that field. Okay, how can I bring value to that person? And then you take that imperfect action, and eventually things fall into place as long as you don't. It's cliche, but as long as you don't quit.
And guys, understand this also. I love what you said. You can do this as a career, but just like any other career, this is going to take commitment. It's not easy, especially when you're starting from absolute scratch. It's going to feel like nothing's happening, but you have to endure.
Yes.
So make sure you know the amount of commitment is going to take for you to jump into this career. Make sure you have a plan for it, and make sure you build a very strong foundation. And you're always going to be learning, but if you can learn as much as you can about creative financing deals, creative, just figure out the different methods people invest in properties, the different type of investment properties. You can fix and flip a property. You can buy a rental property and get cash flow. You can do a BRRRR. All of these are different methods that you can spend hours researching on YouTube. And we will also do specific podcast episodes on those. But make sure you learn as much as you can, so when you talk to the seasoned investors at Yuma REI, you sound educated and you know what you're doing, so that the conversation steers in the right direction as soon as possible and not waste a lot of time in the beginning trying to set that up.
Yeah. So back to Leroy, answer
sir.
your question.
Yes,
right?
sir.
You're working at Jack in the Box. You want to get started. You mentioned
sir.
flipping. You want to get started flipping.
I do.
Okay. So what I would do, Anthony flips houses. So what I would do is just hop on a quick. Anthony's phone number's public, and he's a realtor. Call him, be like, hey, I'm looking for properties around town. You flip, right? Yeah, I flip. Okay. Would it be okay to bring you properties that I think are vacant, and then maybe we can talk about like how you evaluate them?
Yeah,
that's the value you can provide.
or come in and ask Bailey like, hey, how could I identify a vacant property or a property that
Damn,
might
okay, yeah, that's
be
good.
an investment property? And so you can hop in the car with him. You can go to an appointment, or you can you just say, hey, do you have 10 minutes? Or let's drive around the neighborhood and see.
Yeah, 1000%.
That is fiery, guys. I'm fired up, man. I'm going to go door knocking right now. I'm going to absolutely butcher the intro for the first 20 houses, but that's okay, because that's going to teach me how to refine my intro and how to learn how to talk to people. You have to do it. You're going to suck at it at the beginning. There's just no way around it. This is those types of industries that the only way of learning is by going through it and making the mistake, so that you don't make that same mistake again. There's no way around it. Even with a mentor, you're gonna have to do it yourself eventually, and you got it's the only way. You have to go through it, learn as much as you can, build a strong foundation of understanding what the real estate investment terms are, and go to Yuma REI.
Rish just said flip houses, not burgers.
Flip houses, not burgers. Thank you. You know what? Absolutely right. I gotta do that. I'm gonna stop flipping burgers.
Flip some houses.
I'm gonna flip some houses.
Don't quit immediately. Don't
Oh,
quit
yeah, that's
immediately.
right. I still need some cash flow. Okay.
Jack in the Box is actually, their burgers, they're good though.
Bro, the burger I make, dog,
It's
shit.
the best in town.
You're gonna love it, man.
What's Jack in the Box?
You're gonna go in a coma, dog.
Oh man.
I put 3 patties on that. I put 4 pieces of cheese on that. I put 4 pickles on that, man.
Dang.
I stack it up.
Oh man.
I stack it up,
Oh,
and
now
I
you're
charge you
talking-
for the.
You're talking food, Felix Passion.
I charge you for the value menu, bro. I ain't
Oh,
gonna
man.
charge you $12.99.
You're a real one.
Tell you what. Let me be an apprentice. I'll throw in curly fries whenever you want.
All right. When he's stopping by the office. Yeah.
Hell
But no, and
Baconator.
Baconator.
Anthony's right. Like I mean, our office is always open, right? I mean, you can always come in and talk to us, whether, you know.
Calendly link. You can free consultations.
Yeah, and the Calendly link for Felix. Yeah.
Yep.
Calendly links for Felix. But yeah, we're always here to help.
Yeah, it's
You know.
something that we love to do.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I wouldn't change it for anything.
Hey,
Yeah.
Felix, this is for you. Flip 1983 said, Felix uses government cheese on his burgers.
That's right, baby.
It's
No wonder they're so cheap.
It's fake.
Federal Cheese Aid, baby. FCA.
It's fake. It's those craft singles.
Dang, that's
But
why
it
you're gonna
tastes
charge me.
good.
That's why you're gonna charge me on that.
It's
That's
those
right.
craft singles.
I see the catch.
Yep.
Yep.
I like that cheddar cheese. I'll take a bacon cheddar cheese, some barbecue sauce, and an onion ring.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right, let's
All
go.
right, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is the Investors Link podcast. We're going to do this weekly, unless there's a Yuma REI, every Thursday, sometime between 2 and 5 p.m. We don't know.
And some guests.
And some guests. We're going to have some guests. The first episode, we had Jacob, the photographer. Go to YouTube, look up the Investors Link podcast. I'll share it on my Instagram, on my socials. Yuma REI every second Thursday of the month, 5:30 p.m., 4 Points Hotel. I'm Leroy Jenkins.
I'm sick, but
Okay, yeah. I'm Leroy Jenkins.
All right, Leroy.
All right.
Let's get it.
Thank you guys so
2025.
much. And
Get
I'll see
that
you
cheddar.
later. Yeah, get that cheddar, baby.
cheddar, man.
All right.
Let's go.